Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 7 o'clock, September the 26th in the year 2024, and the weather is bad. Thunderstorm today, raining all day. But nevertheless, thank God for grace and mercy. I'm here. I am here. Thank God for grace and mercy. I'm here this morning. I'm just going to just wait for about 10. Good morning, Doris. Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here. Um, Gonna see how it's gonna. Oh, okay. Let me turn it down. Trying to see where this storm is this morning and what it is doing. We're getting a lot of rain and a lot of wind. And I pray for the people that's up in the panhandles, that's getting Tallahassee, Panama City, um, yeah, they're getting a lot, and the people that's in the surrounding area, we're getting a lot of rain, a lot of rain. Good morning. Good morning. How is it there? I am her. How is it there where you are? Did you guys get a lot of rain? Are you getting a lot of rain? It is raining here now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Doris. Good morning. I am her. Good morning to the others that's watching. This morning, you know what? Today is still a good day. I thank God, I thank God for this day. I want not a lot of rain yet. Well, it has started raining here. It's been raining here off and on. Like last night, I just turned the TV off so I can listen to the rain. I like listening to the rain, and it stopped, and it started back, and then it started again around it started again around what 6:50. It started back, so getting heavy downpours right now, and it probably will be like that off and on all day until this has passed by. So they yesterday they made the announcement that they closed their no school today. So that'll be a day that the children will have to they'll have to make up. And I just thank God that because where I'm living right now, they are still trying to clean up from, even though it's been about maybe what 2 years, almost 3 years since Ian, and still trying to um, get roofs built and out on the beach. It's just the beach will never look the same again. So either they're gonna have to they're everywhere they have to rebuild out on the beach. And but it's coming back, and I thank God for grace and I thank God for mercy that we didn't get hit slam like we normally would have. So, I just pray for the other people that's not so fortunate, that's in the eye of this hurricane, because I understand the devastation, and I understand the feeling of loss. I know the feeling of loss and no power and being helpless. So I truly understand that, and my heart goes out to them as well. And we're going to be under a tornado watch all day today. So, but you know what? You got to go on. What can you do? Excuse me. Uh, this morning I didn't get up until like 6:42. My phone kept pinging last night because we were supposed to go to the gym today, and the gym is closed because the area with where I live and where the gym is, it get flooded really, real bad, really quickly. So just praying and hope that we don't get a lot of rain, that it'll get flooded in this area. So I got water. I have water. And I was just too lazy to go to the store yesterday because I didn't feel like fighting nobody over a case of water. So I'm going to do what I'm going to do and drink what I have, and let that be that. And for sure, probably will have to go to the store tomorrow to pick up water. But I ain't going out there fighting nobody today. I ain't going out there trying to fight nobody tomorrow about no water. You know, crazy how people get. But anyway, being that I'm up and being that you guys are up, and I thank you. I thank everybody for being concerned. You know, I went to sleep last night knowing that it's gonna be all right and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. We have a tornado watch out until tomorrow. What's the date? No, we have a tornado watch out uh until 8 o'clock tonight. So after 8 o'clock, prayerfully all is well. Later, I know my son and my daughter are going to be calling, but I probably call them before they call me, just to make sure that they are okay, and my grandkids that they are okay. You know, and everybody have everything that they need. That's my main concern, especially with my son with his small kids, that they have everything over there that they need. Oh my wow! Oh wow! It is flooded out on the beach, but here you just have to be careful driving in flood water because there's so many ditches and so many canals, and you don't when the water is has risen so high, you don't know, even though you just don't know. So I just hope and pray that everybody just stay in place. So this morning I woke up late. I did, and I hate waking up late and just when I'm reading my word in the morning that I can't really get into the Bible and get into the depths of what Good morning, Sherry. I haven't seen you in a while, but good morning for being here. Good morning, Shirley. Divorce Papers. Okay, sound like there's a story behind that. I like that name, Shirley Divorce Papers, and you sound like you probably even happy about it. So good morning, and thank you for being here with me this morning. I am her said we had stuff from the last storm. I'm just praying it passed quickly. You know what? I am her. I'm praying and hoping too, and praying that it don't be as devastating as the last storm. Because, like I said, out on the beach, it's horrible out there on the beach right now. People are still going to the beach. They're still trying to rebuild the beach. Even where I live right now, there's people still have that blue tarp on their houses. And here, in Florida, the insurance companies now they are bailing out on people, and with insurance, and a lot of people being scammed. Uh, getting their roof repaired and stuff like that, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy how the insurance companies every month you're paying your insurance, and when a bad hurricane come, they want to file bankruptcy, and then a lot of insurance companies are leaving Florida. Florida is a hurricane state. It's hurricane prone. We are always we're right on the path when there's a hurricane, and it's making it hard now for people, you know, to choose. Should I get hurricane insurance or should I not? And they're charging such a high premium for the insurance, and it's just crazy that what house owners have to go through when it's a hurricane, but wherever you are, if you're out in California, you got to worry about the fires, and then you up north somewhere, you got to worry about the blizzards, the snow. Here in Florida, we have to worry about the rain, the flooding, the damage that when a water surge, and I didn't really understand what a water surge was until Ian. I didn't know wind could get so strong and that wind could get so high that it can push the water out of the ocean and push it on land, push it on land. And that's what happened with Ian. The water surge was really, really strong, and it was really, really bad. That water was as high as 2, 3 stories, and cars submerged in the water. The boats, oh my God, the boats, and people they got most of the boats out, but there's one bridge that you cross, and where the yacht basin was, and all those boats like all on top of each other. And it was a boat. I saw boats in a hotel parking lot. It was just crazy. And I thank God it didn't happen. Well, I haven't seen it happen, as of yet, because all we have been getting is like the rain. And the wind here, they say, was like what, 15 to 20 miles per hour. So, and oh wow, the sun is not, the sun is coming up, but day is breaking. And there's a silver lining. There's a silver lining. And yesterday I was talking about contentment, the secret of contentment. And I was telling you what the secret of contentment was. It was like establishing a reasonable standard of living, establishing a habit of giving, establishing your priorities, and developing a thankful attitude, and reject a fearful spirit, and seek God and stand up to fear, because fear is just like a bully. Fear is just like a bully. Stand up to fear and trust God promises. So this morning, I am talking about finding contentment, finding contentment. I was and sometimes we get so discombobulated about a lot of things, like even during this storm. And it was so I was seeing on the news, and what I think Tuesday I went to the gym, and after the gym went to Publix. And it's not really bad in public. And when you are a seasoned veteran through these storms, you don't really get too hyped, or you get too overexcited about, or in the news, they hype it up. Oh, go get your water, go get your candles, go get your batteries, go get everything that you need. No, we don't know how the storm is going to go, because it can switch up and, come directly towards us, but I think Floridians are so numb to it now that they're just like the schools. They're going to wait. They're going to wait it out and see. But then you have some people, when they go to the store, they take their wife, they take their children, and everybody got a buggy. So everybody getting, they get, you get 4 cases of water, you get 4 cases of water, you get 4 cases. They just got buggies of water. And when you go to the stores, you can't find anything. And I said I wasn't putting myself through that. I'm just not putting myself through that. I have water enough to last through the day to tomorrow, Lord's willing. And after that, off the Publix, off the Walmart, I am going when all the commotion has died down. So Paul said, in all situations, be content, even going through a storm, going through a hurricane, a physical storm, a mental storm. You have to find contentment in all situations, finding contentment. So this morning, that's what my reading was about. It was about finding contentment. And instead of talking about it, I'm going to read about it. It said, too often we let our circumstances determine our attitude in life. If life is good, going smoothly, then we feel good. But when it get hard, our mood drops. However, we don't have to live this way. Like the Apostle Paul, we can learn and practice contentment. The word contentment describes being at peace no matter how things are. In other words, not wanting anything to be different. It means learning to allow God's power to come into our weakness so we can accept and adapt to changing circumstances. When we respond to life with that kind of thinking, we move beyond living by feeling to living by faith. And that's what I had to do, because our feelings will betray us. Our feelings will make us think that it is, the simplest things can become so devastating. Like the old people say, you make a molehill a mountain. A problem could be so minute. All you got to do just seek God for the answer. And we seek everybody else, and everybody else just, if I was you, I'd do this, then the next person, then the next person, instead of going to God in the beginning and let God direct you to where He wants you to be, to the person that can give you the right advice. We seek everything and everybody but God first. And then, trying to do what everybody's saying, trying to be what everybody, want us to do. And just listen to what God, open up the Bible. Even when you don't feel like open up the Bible, when you're going through something, open up God's word. Have the Bible app on your phone when you're going through something. Sometimes you can't even read the word. They start getting jumbled because your mind just keep going back to what the problem is. Your mind, you're making your problem bigger than what it is. Yeah, we have some big problems sometimes because sometimes we don't know how we're going to make ends meet. We have problems with the children, problems with the husband, problems with the grandchildren, problems on at work. We just got problems, and it seems like they just be beating us, surrounding us and just beating us down. And when you can't read the word, if you don't have the Bible app on your phone, put the Bible app on your phone and listen to the word. Go in Philippians where God is saying, I'll supply all your needs. I got you. And if you can't find something, just start in the book of Psalms. Go in the Old Testament and just listen to the book of Psalms. The Psalms got everything you need that will get you out of your feelings, get you out of thinking about that problem, because now you're hearing God's word telling you, I'm look, even though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'm there with you. I'm with you. The Lord is my light. David wrote a lot of songs because David was going through a lot of things. David said, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? David said, taste and see how good. Just taste and see how good. And sometimes God is better. Sometimes God is better. Most times, all the time, God is better than good. He's better than great. There's not really a word that you can sometimes with most of the time when God answer a prayer, even when you're going through something, and God just give you a glimpse of how it's going to turn out. And when you have a relationship with God, oh my God, when you are connected to God, even though you're going through something, even though you feel like your world is crumbling down, I'm going to tell you something. Be like a blade of grass. Be like a blade of grass. And I did not understand that concept until Reverend Wilson had said, he said, be like grass. He said, you never see grass break. You'll see it bend. People walk on it. You'll cut it. And sometimes, when the wind is blowing, if the grass is a little high, it'll bend, but it never breaks. It always springs back. And that's, for me, is like being content, knowing that, okay, I may bend, but I ain't gonna break, because I know that God is with me, God is for me, and God works through me. So if you in something right now, just know you is not in that by accident. You're not in it by accident. There's a lesson. Before you could get a blessing, you got to learn a lesson. And if you don't learn that lesson, keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same results. But when you stop doing the same thing and change your direction, change your attitude, watch and see how God start working and how things start moving. When you get away from that, oh, woe is me, when you get away from all that gossiping, when you walk away from bite biting and, putting each other down, talking about each other, when you remove yourself from that, just know you're going to be the one they're going to be talking about now. However, don't worry about that. Don't worry about them talking about you. Do thus says the Lord. And when you start doing what God tells you to do and being the way that God want you to be, people going to come against you. They're going to come against you heavy because you used to be a part of that mess. But when you walk away from it because you're not content, you know what? People who in mess all the time, they're not content. They're not happy with themselves. So they project on other people. If I can make her, because she thinks she all of that. And if I can make her feel, if I say this and she'll come down off that little pedestal that she done put herself on. I don't put myself on a pedestal, but what I don't do is come down to meet you at the level where you are. I'm not going to do that. Sometimes I be feeling like it, but I have to ask God, please, Lord, put me in that center. Because if I start talking, it ain't going to be nothing beautiful and I cannot talk that long. And Lord, Lord knows that I'm too old now. I'm too old now. All that talking, I can't deal with a lot of talking. That's why I don't be around my grandchildren too much because they little and they like to talk. They like to ask you, well, why? How come? Nana, Nana, Nana. And I can't stand all that. I get nervous. I get nervous when people talk too much. So I have learned and I have found contentment. I'm content right where I am right now. Sitting at my desk, looking out my window, seeing the break of dawn. God is letting me know, today is a brand new day. Even with the rain, it's still a brand new day. And having the right attitude going through this day, because it ain't nothing that I could do about the rain. There's absolutely nothing I can do about the rain, but thank God for it. But thank God for it and live to tell the story how I made it through yet another thunderstorm. And I am here by myself. I am here by myself. And the first thing my daughter say, well, Mom, you want to come over here? No, I don't want to be around a lot of people. I want to be able to go to the bathroom when I want to go to the bathroom and be comfortable. I want to get in my bed when I want to. I want to go to my refrigerator and get whatever I want out my refrigerator. I don't want to be around a lot of people. I just want to be home. As long as the TV on, long as Xfinity is working and not going off, I am Gucci. I am very, very Gucci. So, good morning. Dion says, whatever. Thank you for being here this morning as well. I am talking about finding contentment. And when you find contentment and when you are content, oh, let me tell you something. There's not much that can bother you because when you have weathered a storm, when God has brought you through a storm and you come out good on the other side of that storm, and you have that peace, now you got that understanding. In Proverbs 3, verses 4, 5, and 6, it says, lean not to thy own understanding. When you stop leaning to your own understanding and the understanding of other people and start acknowledging God, He go direct your path because He said, lean not to thy own understanding, acknowledge God, and He shall direct your path. He gonna do just what He said. Other people will let you down. People will let you down. The people that you love the most will let you down. They will tell you no in a heartbeat. And no, I'm in need right now. And when you're in need, and even when you are in want, take it to God first. And then when God put a person on your heart, when a person just pop up in your mind and you done prayed to God about something, and I never thought about calling that person, Lord. I never thought about doing that. And if it's a person or someone that you say, well, I know they ain't gonna do this, or I feel you feel a little hesitant. If God say do it, God has already prepared that person for you. God has already, because I got to make a phone call this morning and I keep hesitating about it. But you know what? I got to get it done. One person had already said, okay, when you get ready, let me know. And that was a prayer answer. And when I make this phone call later today, that prayer is going to be answered as well. I know for sure God is going to answer that prayer for me, because God will not put me in a situation that will have me all discombobulated and aggravated. So we have to find contentment. And when God tells us, when we are praying to God, and I like to say when I'm having a conversation with God, when because praying is nothing but having an honest conversation with God. You could be so honest with God, you ain't got to worry about God going back and saying nothing to nobody about it. You ain't got to worry about God talking about you about it. You ain't got to worry about God looking at you funny. Because God is everywhere at the same time. He see everything at the same time. God knew the beginning before the beginning begun. So God know your thoughts before you even formulate them into a thought, to make a sentence, to make a word. God already know. So the best thing you can do is just be honest with God. Don't be, when you're praying to God, don't be lying to God. Don't be pretending to God, because God already know. You know, be stripped butt naked, be open, be raw when you talking to God. Be bold, but be humble as well. Boldly approach the throne. However, be humble as well. Be humble as well. And you will find so much contentment. You'll find contentment. You'll find so much peace when you have a conversation with God. Peace that surpasses all understanding. You don't even understand. You don't know how you're gonna get something done. You don't know who to even ask to help you do what it is that you need to get done. However, when you go to God first, just like I say, God will drop something in somebody in your spirit. God will drop something in your spirit. And then when you are hesitant, the spirit would just keep nagging. You know, the spirit is like the children. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Can we go to McDonald's? Can we go to McDonald's? Please, can we go to McDonald's? Is the spirit just keep nagging until you be obedient. And when you be obedient to what the spirit, what God has dropped in your spirit, I'm gonna tell you, all that frustration go away, all that agitation go away, being discombobulated, all of that goes away, and everything just seems to come together when you stop going by your feelings. Because as I said, feelings will betray us at every turn. You know how I know? Because it happens. Everything I say, it happens to me. Even you in a relationship and you know he ain't no good. He ain't doing you good. He ain't treating you right. He doing everything he can, but he know that you gonna take him back. So you done took him back one time and then you done said in your mind, this is gonna be the last time I ain't taking him back. And then it don't take but a touch. It don't take but a word. It don't take nothing but him going, taking you out to eat or buying you something or, paying a bill. And then now you think everything, your feelings done got all involved. But he ain't nothing good for you. He ain't nothing good for you. And you got them friends that you're hanging around. Don't mean you're no good. I ain't doing nothing but using you. And then they get mad. Then you get mad because they done got mad. And then you say, I'm just going to walk away from that. But then they suck you back in again. I can tell you because I know. Even when I was in my drug and I be sitting at the table somewhere, sitting on the toilet somewhere, shooting up. When I stopped shooting up, I'm gonna stop doing this. And I did. I abruptly stopped shooting dope. I did. I just said, I don't want to do it no more. I stopped I stopped. So what I did, I stopped shooting up and started smoking, and be sitting sometime on the toilet in the bathroom, or sitting in, at my desk, or in my room in a chair somewhere, getting high. Be talking about, oh, this is the last time I'm gonna do this. I'm broke now. So this is the last time I'm gonna be doing this. I ain't gonna keep on doing this to myself because I'm broke. But then I get around people that doing it, and going hijack somebody, go and rob somebody, go and lie to somebody for some money, you know, and get sucked right back in. But I tell you, when I started having a relationship with God, all of that, it wasn't hard, but it wasn't easy either. I had to determine, I had to made up my mind, I'm not gonna keep living like this. I didn't care about the people that I lost. I didn't give a damn about that, because all I was thinking about was me. Just like when I was out there in that world, all I thought about was me. I was selfish. And I said, if I could be selfish with myself out here in this world, I could be selfish coming in out of the world. And I thank God for that. I'm gonna tell you, that was the best thing that I have ever done. Now, I'm not saying that do not have problems. I'm not saying that I don't have situations and issues come up sometimes. However, they do. And I'm not saying that when they come, oh, I'm just happy and stuff like that. No, I would be telling a lie from the pit of hell. I would be telling a lie. However, what I'm going to say is, when something surprisingly hit me, something just, a problem arise, a situation, and the circumstances of life, and when life is just lifing, I have learned how to be still, to assess the situation, to pause, not to run into it right now, to step back, look at the situation, assess the situation, have a conversation with God before I move. Lord, you see what's going on. However, I talk to him, that's the way I talk to him. And wait a minute to see, be still to see what he has to say. And when God dropped it in my spirit, and the spirit said, this is what God want you to do. This is how God wants you to do it. And I follow directions. Do I follow directions all the time? No. Because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I feel like, God, you moving too slow, and you want me to do that. You want me to go to that person? And I be asking God, can you kind of rearrange it? And no, no, I'm not rearranging. I said what I said, and this is what I need. This is what you need to do. This is what I need for you to do in order to get what you need to be done. And then sometimes God be moving slow because he want to see what I'm going to do. In all my excitement, and all my I have a microwave mentality, like a lot of us have those microwave mentalities, where we want it done when time we get up off our knees and time we open our eyes, we want it done right then. That ain't the way God, that ain't the way God is. Sometimes I say in Sunday school, sometimes we be prostituting God. We think God is an ATM. Time you go to the ATM, we expect to get what we put in, we expect to get it out. But you can't keep going to God when you ain't putting in the time with God. And all the time, God just want a little bit of your time. He just want to sit down and have a conversation with you, not when you're going through things. I just read, when things are good, we don't even think about God. We don't even think about, say, well, Lord, I thank you. The bills are paid. I got a little bit of money. I got about 50 cents left. I could go out and eat. I could go out and buy that dress. You say that dress just for me. I could go get my nails. I could go out. I could take a little trip. We don't thank God for those kind of things. But as soon as we ain't got 5 pennies to rub together to make a nickel, we start, oh Lord, we start praying and talking to God. We start making God all kind of promises and everything. But God, that's not the kind of God I serve. That is not the kind of God that I serve. God is a compassionate, loving God. He loves his children. And I heard the old people say, when we have been raised in the church and we know the words, we can recite scripture, and We done been in the youth choir. We done been part of the youth department in the church, and we know the word. We know the word, but when we get to be teenagers, young adults, uh, adults, middle age, we just want to do what we want to do. And God is a God of choice, free will choice. He allow you to go on out there and do what you want to do. However, he'll keep giving you warnings. He'll start giving you warnings, and you'll see the red flags that God is putting out. But sometimes we ignore that. We ignore it because we want to do. We feel like we're finding content. I'm content doing what I'm doing. I'm good doing what I'm doing. You content, but you ain't at peace doing it. I look at the world now, and I look at some situations now, and I could tell when a person is not happy. They could still they could wear a full face of makeup, hair done, nails did, toes done, all that pretty dress to the nine. But my grandmother, my great grandmother used to tell me, when you are talking to someone, look at them in their eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul. And they could be smiling and bopping all around, but their eyes, there's an emptiness, there's a sadness, there's no peace there, there's no contentment there. And I see that in a lot of people. And then my heart, and I'm not I may be a little hard around the edges, but I'm soft. You did I have a soft heart for people when they're going through something, even when they done did something to me, that said things about me. I still have like compassion for people. And when I'm in a group with people and they're saying things, and I said, don't say that. Don't do it like that. I don't care. Yeah, I care. I care. Because I don't forget about what they've said about me. I don't forget how they treated me. However, I have to look at them the same way God looked at me, how God had compassion on me, how God had understanding, and how God waited for me to get it right, waited for me to get it better than I am right now. So, that's the only way we're going to find contentment. We got to not always rely on our feelings, because our feelings will take us someplace that we can't come from. Our feelings will make us do things, will get us in trouble. Crime of passion. I ain't mean to kill him. I ain't mean to kill him. But your feelings, was all out of control. So don't live by feelings, live by faith. And it says submission and trust are needed for such a lifestyle. First, we must surrender to God in every situation. We are to yield what we want and then accept whatever He allows. We have to surrender. When I was in rehab, the first thing of the 12-step program was, it wasn't surrendering, it was admitting that you have a problem. And if you don't admit you got a problem, then you cannot surrender that problem over to the rest of the steps. You can't, so it, and that's the hardest step. The first step is always the hardest step. Accepting that you have a problem, admitting that I got a problem and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to solve it. I can't do it by myself. That's why I'm calling on you, Lord, to order my steps, direct my path, give me a brand new song to sing so I can let your praises ring in your word. That's that song, Order My Steps. And sometimes when I hear the lady who sang that in my church, when she sang that song, sometimes I just have to listen. I like listening to the words, order my steps, direct, order my bridle my tongue and let my words edify, you know, bridle my tongue. And that right there, that that verse right there, bridle my tongue, let my words edify. I like my words now to uplift someone. Sometimes even when we're having a conversation with someone, and we are talking, um like on YouTube, on these panels, everybody is giving their opinion. You can give your opinion, and when you don't always have to be nasty and derogatory or putting a person down, you state what it is, but then you don't have to go against a person. Be so heartless and so hard, talking about a person. You speak what you see, and that's all we can speak, because we don't know nothing, because we not involved in it. We only see what they are showing us, and that's all you can speak on, is what you see. And even if it's a bad situation, there's words not to um talk down at a person. Edify, uplift, encourage, speak life into people. And if you don't have friends or loved ones that speaking life into you, those are the people that you don't need to be around. Those are not the people that you need to be around that say, well, if it was me, I'll go up there and I will bust that in her mouth. If it was me, I'd do this. No, that's not if what I tell people. I'm not gonna tell you what I would do, because if I was in a situation that you're in, I don't know what I would do. I can't give you advice of, well, girl, if it was me, this what I would do. No, I would have that person to think about it first. Think about what you're saying. And if you like feeling like this, and if you like being like this, continue to be the way you are, and continue to do the things that you do. Just like I said, you keep doing the same thing, you're gonna keep getting the same results. When your attitude start changing, your personality start changing, your wording start changing, the people, the places that you go to, and the things that you do, when all of that start changing, you'll see a change in you. You're going to be the first one to see a change in you. When something that used to piss you off to no end, don't do it no more. And then you realize, oh my God, I didn't get upset about that. But then, you got them friends, you got them family members, they getting ready to come at you. They want to pull you back in. They want to pull you back in. But you got to be stronger than your feelings. You're gonna have to sometimes you just have to overlook your feelings, because just like I say, our feelings are our feelings are take us some places that we won't be able to get out. And first we have to surrender. Surrender in every situation. We are to yield what we want. His will be done. Ask God, what is his will for you? And when God illuminates you with that, then that's what you have to do. Because my will was to keep having an attitude. My will was, when you come at me, I'm coming back at you. I didn't care what size you was. I didn't care if you was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You said something smart to me, I'm saying something smart right back to you. But them ain't nothing but cheer. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care how young you was, and I ain't care how old you was. Very disrespectful. Had a nasty attitude. Had a very nasty disposition. But when I bumped into God, when God said, you know what? I'm going to snatch you up out of this. Just like he did Paul on that road to Damascus, because Paul was something else. He said, you so bold out here in these streets. You're going to be just as bold for me in the kingdom. So I said, oh, when I decided to go to church that morning, that January 1st was on a Sunday. And I went to church and I heard the word, not that I had not ever heard the word, because I had. I heard the word, it just penetrated me at my grandmother's funeral. And the pastor was eulogizing my grandmother. And he was just talking. And, he said, I didn't know what to say. He said, I went to sleep that night and I was worried because I did not know what to say about QT. And he said, all I know is QT was a beautiful woman. QT was she said what she said and she meant what she said. And he said, I was just lost for words. And I told my wife, he said, I just don't know what to say. And so she said, well, just go to sleep. You'll wake up tomorrow, you'll have something. So he said he went to sleep. He said, I think I was asleep. He said, it could have been, he said, I think it was a dream. He said, I don't really know what it was. He said, I went to sleep and QT came to me and say, son, don't worry about it. I'm going to take you somewhere. And where I'm taking you, you can't go all the way. So she took me to where she was going to be. And he said, it was beautiful where my grandmother is. He said it was so beautiful where QT was, and she said, you can't come over. You can't come over right now because it ain't time for you in this mind. And she left him standing there looking at her go into this place what Jesus had prepared for you. Because in verses John 14 and verses 1 through 4, it says, let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. And whether I go, ye know, and the way ye know. Thomas said unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? Jesus said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. And this is what he prayed. This is what he preached from. And he said, when I woke up, he told his wife, he said, you know what? And I got it. He said, I know what I am going to say. And I was so intrigued. I was so mesmerized when he was, the sadness had dissipated because now I'm interested in what he was saying. And I was so captivated by what he was saying. And I said, you know what? When I stopped getting high, I am. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And I was so captivated by that and anointed. Good morning to you as well. I'm seeing a lot of new faces. I thank you guys for being here this morning. I thank you. I hope everybody just hit that like and share button. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. It's all peace and love over here. And I was so captivated about what he said. And I said, as soon as I stop smoking dope and, start behaving myself and get myself together, I'm going to start going to church. I'm going to start going to church. And then, God said, not so. You're going to start doing that. But I'm going to bother you so much. I'm going to trouble the water so much that I'm going to always be on your mind. And every time you get high, you ain't gonna really be getting high. You're gonna get frustrated. Every time you put something on a pipe to smoke it, you're gonna get frustrated. Every time you do something that's not in my will for you, you're gonna get frustrated. You're gonna get aggravated. You're gonna get so aggravated, you're gonna find the church that I want you to be in. And that's what happened to me one New Year's Eve morning. I'm telling you, I had a church in the front of me. Where I live, it was a church in front of me. There was a church on the side of me. There's a church right down. I had like 1, 2, 3, 4 churches that was in walking distance. 4 churches that was in walking distance. And I just got in the truck and I said, well, Lord, wherever you want me to go, you're just going to have to lead me there. So I done passed churches. I done passed this church. I done passed that church. And I passed that other church and that other church. So I say, well, Lord, I ain't found no church that I want to be in. So, Lord, just let me just do what I wanted to do. I seen my dad under the tree. And I stopped and I talked to my dad under the tree. So he said, hey, baby, where you going? I'm going to church. He said, all right, get back in your truck and go back. Go ahead, go on to church. But I didn't know what church I was going to. So I went to this little church on the corner that my cousin husband was the pastor who had eulogized my grandmother. And when I went inside, I just sat there. My cousin, she greeted me, and I felt good. And when the pastor was preaching and they were singing, the tears started coming. And when he opened up the doors for the church, when he opened up, by coming, coming to church, I said, I stood up. There was no hesitation. I got up. And that was the day that I surrendered, but not surrender all to God. And then, I started coming to church. I started reading my Bible. I just got so engrossed in the word of God. I had got so engrossed in the word of God. And I thank God for the grace and the mercy that he has bestowed upon me. Because if it wasn't for God, I don't know where I would be. That's why and it says, you know, finding contentment, what we have to do when we're looking for contentment. It says, first, we got to surrender our ways, those nasty ways, the attitude, those devious, vindictive, destructive thoughts. We have to first surrender all of that. And once you let go, because you know what, you're holding on to being mean and having a nasty attitude because this person that did this and that person that did that, and you're holding on to that. Nothing, no prayer. Your prayers just bouncing around. They're just floating around. And the things that you have asked God for, they're over in a corner, sitting, waiting for you to release the vindictiveness, the nastiness, the anger, the destructive ways that you have. And once you surrender, open your hands up and stretch your hands up and say, Father, I stretch my hands to thee, no other help I know. And you open up your hands, baby, the windows of heaven will open up, and the blessings that you have been praying and asking God for will just start coming down, just start coming down. But in order to get them, you got to do a little something too. God ain't just gonna give you, just give without you doing something. So don't think you can fool God. Well, if I do this, God gonna do that. Baby, don't work that way. Don't work that way. Because if he know the beginning before the beginning begun, he know when you lying. He know when you ain't real. He see God know everything. God know everything. He's the one who said, let there be. The earth is formless, void. And God the one to say, let there be. Let there be light. Boom, there it was. God is the one who flung the stars and the moons and the sun in the sky. God is the one that put the trees, the grass, separated the ocean from the sea, the sea from the ocean from the sea, the ocean, the sea, the lakes from the rivers, and the rivers from the canals and the ditches. God did all of that. God did all of that. So God is an all-knowing God. So he know everything. It ain't nothing you can hide from it. So surrender everything over to God. Those thoughts, the attitude, let it go. Let it go. And then you're on the right track when you start surrendering. And then after you surrender, you got to trust God. You got to trust and believe that if God said, it's going to be. Because he said, let there be. And every time God said, let there be, it was. It was. When God told Moses to strike, he didn't say strike the rock, he said touch the rock, and the rock gave forth water. What God says for, drop your staff and watch the staff turn into a snake. God pointed that staff at the Red Sea, and the Red Sea parted so they could walk through dry land. So whenever God say let there be, it is going to be. Trust God. Be so dumb. Be so, I'm gonna say me. I'm so dumb. I'm gonna be dumb enough. I'm gonna be naive enough, and I'm gonna be stupid enough, and I'm gonna be foolish enough to trust what God says. That's just the way I'm gonna be. If God said it, I'm gonna be dumb enough to believe it. Because we believe everything people tell us. So if I could believe everything a man done told somebody who claimed to be my best friend, even my bestest cousin, the preacher, the deacon, if I could believe all of that, why can't I believe God more so? Why can't I believe God more so? And that's where I am. I'm going to be foolish enough to trust in God. And when I surrender, I'm going to believe God going to do just what he said. I ain't going to leave you. We done heard people say, I ain't going to, girl, I'm going to be there with you. I'm down with you just like 4 flat tires. But I'm a ride or die. I'm going to be there with you, girl. I'm a ride or die. I stopped telling people I'm a ride or die friend because I'm not a ride or die friend. Why I got to die for you and with you? No, I'm a ride with you long. I'm a ride with you when you right, and I'm a ride. We're gonna stop when you wrong, so we can have a conversation about it. So we can start by riding together. Because I'm not gonna be with you. I'm gonna be a friend with you all the time, but in your wrongness, I got to tell you when you're wrong. I got to tell you because if I don't, I'm not a friend. So I'm gonna tell you when you're right. I'm gonna congratulate you. I'm gonna encourage you. I'm gonna be behind you when you're right. But when you wrong, I'm still gonna be with you. But I'm going to encourage you to do right. I'm going to encourage you to speak right. Change that attitude. Change the way you walk. Change the way you talk. Stop putting your stop putting your mouth on people. Stop gossiping. Stop lying. I'm gonna encourage you in that way as well. And it says practice gratitude. There's something we can always be grateful for. There's something we can always be thankful for. In the mornings before you even get up to face the day, the first thing you should say is thank you, God, for another day. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. However, I know the type of attitude I'm gonna have in this day because this is the day that you have given to me. This day was made, this weather, this day was made for me. This is a brand new day, a new sheet of paper, a new canvas. I could paint it however I want to paint it. I could write it out however I want to write it out. Today is a new day. What happened yesterday happened. What's going to happen tomorrow? I can't tell you because I ain't there yet. I'm right here in the present, in the right now. So I thank God for the right now because I look back over my life and all the things that I have been through. I thank God that I ain't where I used to be. I may not be where I want to be right now, but I thank God I'm not where I used to be. I thank God I'm not where I used to be a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 6 months ago. I thank God I'm not there. I thank God for this very present moment as of right now. I thank God for this. So find something to be grateful for. Thank find Practice gratitude. Practice gratitude. Just walk around your house sometime and just start looking at the yeah, earlier this morning. I went to turn the fan off in the living room around about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and I just stopped and I just looked and I said, Lord, all of this is mine. I thank you for that. I thank you for my African pillows. I thank you for my little black women, the pictures of my black women. I thank you for the plants. And I looked at my kitchen. I said, Lord, look at my kitchen. I said, this is mine. I said, I can remember a time when I wasn't able, didn't ever think that I would be where I am today. And I just started thanking God regardless of the rain outside, the wind blowing, regardless of, I ain't got 10 $1 bills to make a whole $10. I'm thanking God still because I know it's not gonna always be the way it is now. I thank God for what I got. The little bit that I do have, I thank God for it. I'm grateful for it. So find something, practice gratitude, practice being thankful all the time, even when life is lifing. Find something to be thankful about. When I'm praying sometimes, I be saying, Lord, thank you for the troubled waters. Thank you for troubling the waters. Because if he didn't trouble the water, I don't know, will I be stuck? Sometimes I feel stuck. And when I feel like I'm stuck, things began to happen. Then I said, okay, Lord, thank you for troubling the water. I got to move. I got to go. I got to get something done. Think fine Find and practice gratitude. Then take control of your attitude. Your attitude determines your latitude. If your attitude stink, you're going to be stuck right where you are. Because in the time that we're living in now, people just ain't studying your stinking attitude and they can match your attitude. They can match your attitude. And you don't change your attitude for the people, you change the attitude for yourself. Because just as I said, your attitude will determine your latitude. If you got a stinking attitude, it ain't too much that I could do for you because I don't want to be around you. It's just not too much that you can't get from me. You'll get a good morning, a yeah, and a uh-huh. And I'm keeping it moving. See, because I had an attitude. I can have an attitude. So, there's people like me that can match attitudes. So control your attitude and see how far you'll go. And so, I used to have an attitude when I be on the phone with people and then, get so mad and just hang up. Them people don't give a damn about me hanging up. And then I got to call them right back. So I had to learn to change my attitude, bring it down a notch or two. So when I start talking nice to these people on the phone, I found that people will go out of their way to help you when you are being nice. Not fake nice, but real nice, because I need a service from you. I need a service from you. I have been in Publix and you know, I be trying to calculate things in my head, because I know I got this much money. So I gotta, if I'm always calculating what to spend and if I'm gonna have to put that back, am I gonna have to get the name brand or am I gonna have to get the Publix brand? So I had went up to the register and I was like $5 short. So I didn't bring my wallet in. I just left my wallet and I just took my debit card. And the debit card was on low, baby. The debit card was on low because the next day was gonna be payday. So I left I always like to keep about $25 in cash in my car. So I isolated. I said I knew she could just, she just hold it, but not hold up the line. I know she could put it like on pause or something like that, and then wait on somebody. So I say, I have the money out in my car. Just let me run to my car and get the rest of the money, and I'll be back. So there was a man standing behind me. He said, how short are you? And I said, oh, I got it. I said, I just got to go out to my car and get it. He said, no. He said, just ring her on out and put the rest of it on. I'll take care of the rest of it. So the lady ring me out, and I'm saying, my attitude, because something had happened earlier that day, and I didn't have a nasty attitude about it. And that was the way that God rewarded me because of the way that I treated a person earlier in the day. Don't you know you get your blessings in the way we treat people, the way we treat people? I'm looking at stuff that's going on out in YouTube and I'm looking at how God is working. I'm just going to say it. I look at how God is working in Stormy's life right now. Long when you be quiet, when you be still, when you do what God has assigned for you to do, when you put him first, when you know it was not you, baby. You ain't that smart and you ain't that pretty. You're not smart as God and you're not as beautiful as God. So what Stormy is doing now, God, is her winning season because she had done prayed to ask God for stuff. And then even when she was going through things, she didn't, she tempered down her attitude and stuff like that. She stopped going at everybody all the time and stuff like that. She stopped doing that when she had started acknowledging God and keeping her focus on God and being obedient to what God said. God start opening up that one, and we see blessing on blessing on blessing on top of blessings. We see that. And when you're grateful, when you surrender that nasty attitude, when you start trusting God, when you start practicing gratitude and thankfulness, you see what God will do. And when you start taking control of your attitude. See, we like to say, ain't nobody got control over me. Sometimes you don't even have control over yourself because you're allowing people to push your button. You're not being a thermometer. You're being the thermostat. And you know what? The thermometer, you being a thermometer, you're not being the thermostat. The thermostat sets the temperature. And the thermostat, you see, if your thermostat is on 76 and I everything in my apartment is like you just touch it. Okay, you touched it, and I touch it, it go down to about 72, 73. When I get really hot, I put it down to 7, I punch until it get to 73. I control that. It do not control me. It controls the weather. And see, in my apartment, and see, that's what we got to stop letting people do. Stop controlling our thoughts and the way we behave. Be the eagle. Even though it's cloudy outside, and an eagle could fly above the cloudiness. He flies, a eagle is a majestic bird. It flies above the drama. The rain and the storm. It don't try to flap its wings in the wind. It glides. It glides and let the wind take it where it needs to go. And that's just like God. When we control our attitude, God will take us exactly where he wants us to be, and where it is that we want to be. God will take us right there. And break the buying habit. Just because you got the money to buy it, you don't need no. You got 100 pair of shoes on display. You got shoes, dresses, bottles of perfume. You got 100 handbags that you don't even use. How many pair of shoes can you wear in a week? Changing your shoes and changing your clothes. You got clothes and stuff in your closet that good and gosh darn well that you can't even get in no more. You got shoes in your closet that if you walk to the front door, they start hurting your feet. Now you got some bottles of perfume right now that's been sitting on your dresser or wherever it's sitting that you ain't even using. Why not pack some of that stuff up and give it to somebody? Give it to somebody that admire how you smell. That it love. Oh, I love those shoes. Give it to somebody who love those shoes. Them shoes hurt your feet. They hurt that pinky toe. And you can't even breathe when you try, even with your waist trainer on and your spank and everything else we be wearing to get in that dress. You can't even get in that dress. Can't zip it up. Can't. And when you zip it up, you can't even breathe. You look like a stuffed turkey on Thanksgiving. Get up. Break, break the buying habit. When my granddaughter was small, because she was the only child for a only grandchild for a long time. So when Christmas came, when back to school and her birthday come, just buy. Anytime I went to the mall, when I went in Macy's, when I went in the children place, wherever I went at Walmart, Target, and I saw some just buying. And then her mama just buying. Godparents just buying. Friends buying. Uncles buying. And this little girl had all these clothes, and I'm saying, this girl, she can't wear all these clothes. And then it had got to the point to where some of the clothes was being duplicated. I go to children's place. Her mama go to children's place, but look what I bought. Then her mom said, well, I bought the same thing. And I said, you know what? It's time to start giving some of this stuff away. And then when Christmas, oh my goodness, when Christmas time come, and I had saw a selfishness in my granddaughter. when Christmas time came, had all these toys. And little girl had came to the apartment. We were living in the projects. The little girl had came to the project, and the little girl was touching. Now you got something in your hand that you're already holding. You got Christmas. You got gifts under the tree that you even haven't even opened yet. And there was this old man that lived across the street, Mr. Brown. He loved my granddaughter because she was born with sandy red hair, and so was his granddaughter. And he would always talk about, I don't like other people cheering too much, but I sure love this baby right here. And he would buy stuff for her. So he bought her something for Christmas. Then the godparents buy something for Christmas. Then I'm buying, her mama buying. Everybody buying her something for Christmas. Got gifts under the tree, ain't been open yet. And look, all the little girl did was just touch the thing. And she ran over to the girl and went, don't touch that. That's mine's and on. And I said, no, I can't raid that. No, we cannot have that. We cannot have that. So, in order for her to get things now, she have to give away things. Like a closet full of clothes. She started school when school started. So I asked my daughter, I said, have you went school shopping yet for her? And so she said, Ma, she said, you know what? She said, I'm not buying no lot of. She said, every time school starts, she said, I buy her 6 pair of shoes to start school with. And I buy enough clothes to last for at least a month. She said, I went into that closet. She said, that girl, she said, do you know Miss Ma'am got shoes she ain't never wore? There's clothes in there with the price tag still on it that she had never wore before. So she said, I'm not buying all that stuff for her for school this year. So I get it. She already got three weeks worth of clothes, new shoes that she could wear to school. But I am gonna buy her maybe about 2 pair more shoes and 3 pair of jeans and some more t-shirts and stuff like that. I said, well, you know what? Knock yourself out. Do what you do, honey. Do what you do. You got to break that spending habit because if you don't, you spending it at all, you ain't gonna have nothing for a rainy day. So break the spending habit. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop comparing yourself to others. I used to do that. I used to say, Lord, I am this old. I'm living in an apartment. I should be living in a house. I should be living in a 2-car garage house. I should be married. I should have all this stuff. I should have at least 3 bank accounts and maybe 4 credit cards. I should have all of that. And then I started looking at people who had that. I was looking at it, but all I was doing was I was peeping in. I wasn't in. I was just I was on the outside, because they got all this stuff. See, they had mortgage payments that they had to pay if their house wasn't paid off. And if they had a 30-year mortgage, they still paying mortgage. They had to pay insurance on them cars. I don't care if the car's paid for, they still had to pay insurance on their cars, right? They got to pay water bill, they got to pay light bill. So God was chastising me about because that's what I was saying, living in a 1 bedroom apartment. And so God said, look, you don't pay water bill. You pay light bill, and your light bill is less than $100 a month. You got a standard size washer and you got a standard size dryer. You got a dishwasher. You ain't got no yard that got to be mowed. If the dishwasher mess up, if the washing machine mess up, if the refrigerator mess up, you ain't got to pay for that. You ain't got to go to Lowe's, Home Depot. You ain't got to go to You ain't got to go to nowhere to buy no refrigerator, to go get a new washer and dryer. You ain't got to do that because if it's bad enough, there's a warranty on your washer and dryer. So if it go bad and they can't fix it, they can replace it. If the refrigerator break down, you ain't got to pay no repairman to fix that. You have a mate, you have a man that'll come and fix that for you. So I stopped comparing. And then even with my clothes and the shoes and stuff like that, I stopped looking at I own a Michael Kors. I own two Michael Kors purses, and I didn't purchase them. My daughter did. My daughter gave me those purses. I don't own nothing really fantastic. Now my perfume, yes, I own some good perfume. I wear the Estee Lauder. I wear the Jimmy Choo. I wear the what is it? What is it? What is it? Who makes that? My Way. Uh, what is his name? Oh, now I got to go and look at the name. Uh, Armani. Armani. What who makes this? The Frog. The Valentino. My Way. Okay. Giorgio. Giorgio Armani. My Way. I wear the Trisant. Lacone. I wear the Prada. Prada Milano to be exact. I have the Chanel. I'm gonna spend some money on some perfume. Shoes, I'm gonna get them out of JC Penney. I'm gonna get them out of JC Penney. And if Target got some pretty ones, I'm gonna get them out of Targets too. So I stopped comparing myself to other people because I go in Target and get a dress. I go in Walmart and get a dress and wear it. And the dress don't wear me. I wear the dress and I make it look good. So I stopped comparing myself. So stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop looking at what you ain't got and start focusing on the things that you do got. That's where you have to start practicing that gratitude, being thankful. And then help others every now and then. Help somebody. Help somebody not to talk about it. Help somebody. You ain't got to talk about what you do for people. Because if you got to talk about it, don't do it. Don't do it. Let them be the one to say, if it hadn't been for Gracie, if it hadn't been for Sue, I don't know how I would have made it. Let them be the one to tell the story. Don't you tell somebody a story. Don't tell nobody what you done did for somebody else. Let them tell it. Let help other people every now and then. It's more, it's more, you get more in giving than you do in receiving. Sometimes I be so embarrassed when people give me things. Oh, in church, from they'll buy me a little book. They'll buy me because they know I like to write, so they'll buy me a journal. Miss Marie, I was in the store and I saw this and I thought about you. And for real, that I feel honored. I feel blessed, but I feel embarrassed as well because I'm not really used. I rather give somebody something, like I make sometimes when I'm in the mood to make bracelets, I'll make a bracelet for somebody and put a card in there with something encouraging words. And I said, "Oh, I just made this for you, and here you go." And to walk off. And if I'm wearing some lipstick or somebody like it, say, "Oh, I love that lipstick." I said, "Oh, I get it for you." And so, buy lipstick, give them a card, make them a bracelet, and give it to them. Walk away and don't think nothing about it. And somebody said, "Oh, I love that bracelet that you made for so and so. You'll make me one." Of course, I'll make you one. I'm so help other people, help uplift their spirits. It ain't all about what you can buy a person. You could give a person an encouraging word. You could just, sometimes when people, looking down and out and despondent and depressed, and sometimes you could just go up and say, "You know what, you look like you need a hug." And a person will break down in your arms and they'll tell you, "You just don't know how much I needed that. You don't know how much I needed that." So help other people and then be content with what you have. Be content with what you have, never with what you are. You know, just because you think you this big stuff, don't be like that. Because the same people that you meet going up, you gonna be you could meet those same people that's coming down. So be content with what you have. Don't go out there trying to rob nobody. Get just because you saw this person with a Vera Wayne dress on, and gosh darn well you can't afford it, but you go out there and get it just because somebody else got it. Be content. All them shoes you got in that closet, all them clothes you got in that closet, all of everything that you got. Be content with that. Cause you know what? At the end of the day, and when the day ends, you ain't taking none of that stuff with you. Because you know it's gonna be divided up, and somebody else gonna be arguing about it. Somebody else gonna be wearing your shoes. Somebody gonna be wearing your clothes, and somebody gonna be spraying your perfume, driving your car in your house. So be content with what you have, and keep working on self. Keep working on self. I'm trying today to be better than I was yesterday and the day before that. I am trying to be a better every day. I strive to be better than I was the day. Yesterday was Wednesday, so I got to do better than I did yesterday. I did some laundry, so today the gym is not open, but I do have a work. We have a workout center here, so I'll go down to the workout center for about 30 minutes today to be better than I was yesterday to do something different. So when you do things different, you get different outcomes from doing things different. If you keep doing things the same way, you're going to keep getting the same result all the time. You repeating the same habits, you're gonna get the same every time. You're gonna get the same conclusion all the time. So the word for today is still contentment, but finding it. Finding it. Surrender, trust God, practice gratitude and thankfulness, take control over your attitude, break the buying habit, stop comparing yourself to other people, help somebody. Help somebody today. You might just walk into Starbucks today, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, through the drive through at McDonald's, and just, what did that person order back there? And if you got the funds to do it, just pay for it. Just pay for it and not looking for nothing. Just pay for it. And then you don't know how you gonna help that person. You don't know how you gonna help that person out because that person could be saying, if I get this meal, this is gonna be the only meal I have today. And watch, just watch when you be good and do good to other people, watch the good that'll come back to you. So those are my words for today. Finding contentment. It's always gonna be content. You can when you're content, that you're peaceful, you're at peace. And the only way that you could be at peace, you got to be at peace with God to get peace from God. And when you're at peace with God, you get that peace from God, and that peace that you get from God surpasses all understanding. People look at you and say, I don't know how she doing that. I don't know why she looks so happy and she got all this mess going on. You know why? You look so happy and you got all that mess going on because you got the peace from God, because you at peace with God. And when you at peace with God, everything is all right. Even when things look like they're not, they are all right. So go out there and practice gratitude, finding your contentment. And that's the word for the day. Tina Love, I thank you for being here this morning. Profound words. Well, thank you, my dear. My grandma used to say the ladder goes, yes, it do, baby. It go up and it go down. And the ones you meet going up, the ones you done stepped on going up, look, you're going to meet them same people coming down while they going up. Yes. And ladies, sparkle smooth. Yes, catch more bees with honey. Catch more bees with honey than with vinegar. My great grandma used to say that all the time, all the time. Yes, like the stench of 1,000 skunks. Yes, ma'am. Yes, preached it, anoint it, teach it. Well, thank you, ma'am. Yes, they're a good morning, everybody. Live with loyalty. I am her, Sarah, anointed by Oh, Margarita. Okay, I'll be Margarita because you always say that. So I thank everybody for being here this morning, and pray for the people that is going to have a lot of problems with this tropical storm. It is rain. You know what, y'all? It's raining here, but the sun's still trying to come out. The sun's still trying to come out. There's a silver lining in, I'm telling you, there's a silver lining in the sky, the blue, the white, and the gray, like overcast.
So this is going to be a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. And I know it's beautiful where you are as well. So I pray for the ones that's going to be devastated by this tropical storm that may have turned into a hurricane, going up where it is. So let's pray for them. Let's keep them in our prayers. And I'm glad that it didn't get as bad as we was thinking it was going to get. And Lady B, I know she's not here this morning. However, I think she said she lived where she lived in Florida, and I don't know if they got any, but I know the Panhandle's gonna probably got hit pretty bad. So let's keep those people in prayer. Let's keep those people in prayer. And whatever we can do for them besides praying, let's, Red Cross or anything, let's do what we can do for them, you know, because we never know what God will lay on your heart to do for other people. And what you do for other people, God will do the same thing or even better for you. So the word for today still is contentment. Being content in all circumstances. Be thankful and be grateful to what God has done, what God is doing, and give God a thanksgiving shout in advance for the things that He is getting ready to do. It's right around the corner. Just keep going and hang on in there. Hang on in there. God got you. God got you. So I'm going to say, peace out and be encouraged be encouraged and be encouraging and be blessed today and be a blessing to someone else along the way and practice gratitude. Find something and someone to be grateful and thankful to and for just for today. Peace out, deuces. I love you. Holler at me and I'll holler back. Holla.